Double Kiss by Ronnie O'Sullivan. Read by Nick Moran.
Chapter 1. It's coming home, it's coming home. It's coming, football's coming home.
The Ambassador Club was packed tighter than a tube carriage during rush hour. The owner, Frankie James, reckoned there had to be 150 punters in here, maybe more, pumping their fists in the air with their England flags draped down their backs, looking like a bunch of pissed-up wannabe superheroes, all trying and failing to take off. The hulking great silhouette of Spartak Sidarov stood wedged in the open doorway, bright sunlight pouring in through the tiny gaps that his massive shoulders hadn't quite blocked out. Frankie's old mate was more used to bossing Oxford Street nightclub queues. But it was good to have him here today, seeing as how many people had turned up this afternoon to watch the match, and how hammered most of them already were. A good job, too, that Frankie and Zandra had put the hardboard covers on the club's 12 snooker tables that morning, while Dave the Shock had been installing the 2 big wall TV projectors he'd picked up from the Rumbelows clearance sale, because none of this crowd were here to play. The whole room stank of smoke and spilt booze. There wasn't a ball or a cue in sight. The tabletops were littered instead with overflowing ashtrays and pint glasses, and a young woman called Shazza was now curled up on table 6 and snoring like a drain. Frankie kept half an eye on her. Everyone else's eyes were glued to the screens. England 1, Switzerland 0, with just 10 minutes to go. It was the first match of Euro 96, and the action was taking place right here in London, just up the road at Wembley, with the whole world watching, or at least that's how it felt. "Come on, boys, keep the bastards out," Frankie muttered under his breath, swilling dirty pint glasses one after the other through the glass washing machine behind the bar, his shoulders tightening up as the Swiss surged forward again. He put £100 down at Ladbrokes on England to win, but not just this match, the whole tournament 3 weeks from now at odds at 7-1. A win would mean Frankie could escape Soho for a nice little holiday. He hadn't had a day off since Christmas, not once in the last 6 months. He glanced back at the photo montage his mum had stuck up here on the wall between the optics, back when her and the old man had still been together, and they'd all used to head off down the Costa del Sol along with a bunch of other families from round here. His mum was right there in the middle, her beautiful smile suspended in time, as she hugged her 2 precious boys, Jack and Frankie. Frankie couldn't have been more than 13. Frankie was rudely brought back to the here and now by loud cheers and shouts of encouragement. Up on the screen, the clock ticked over the 83-minute mark. The crowd started to belt out the Lightning Seeds anthem again, even louder this time. 3 lines on a shirt, never stop me dreaming. Frankie joined in. It was hard not to. This sodding tune was that damn catchy, and the stakes were that bloody high. He grinned across at Doc Slim and Zandra, both working the bar beside him. Doc doffed his worn leather cowboy hat, looking more and more like Colonel Sanders by the day now he'd upgraded his grizzly grey moustache for a full-blown beard. Zandra was sporting her new That Girl from the Cranberries cropped barnet, along with the panther tattoo on her bulging right bicep that Frankie had sprung for on her 19th birthday last month. Bloody kids. She was only 5 years younger than him, but he still felt like her dad. He'd even insisted on meeting the tattooist and checking he was properly licensed before he'd let him set to work. But then Frankie always had been older than his years. He remembered his mum always saying that about him, even when he was a nipper. "Don't give up the day job," Sandra laughed, mock grimacing and sticking her fingers in her heavily studded ears. She'd already told him she'd heard cows in labour singing better than him on the County Antrim farm where she'd grown up, the bloody cheek. Then, boo! The crowd's choral antics switched to jeers. Frankie's ice-blue eyes locked back on the screen. Bollocks! Double bollocks! Stuart Pearce! He'd only just been bloody penalised, hadn't he? For handball in the box. Shit a brick, this was all Frankie needed. England starting off their campaign with a draw. Pearce's nickname, Psycho, 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 rumbled through the crowd. The Swiss striker
Sample complete. Ready to continue?